you say that you think that the people in Northern Ireland, whom a majority of them are actually Protestant, loyalist, unionist people, and are now being run by people who used to go out in the Provisional IRA, are now being run by the Provisional IRA and being told what to do, and led by the nose by these guys who now are in sort of head of the police force in Northern Ireland. There's not contentment there. It's more suppression. MI5 have got a big intelligence, have got a big sort of a big security base there in Palace Barracks in Northern Ireland beside Knock, which is the PSNI's barracks, and they're being suppressed. The Protestant loyalist community, unionist community, are being suppressed and trying. For example, I'll just give you another example tomorrow. There was two people arrested the other day or a couple of people arrested for a murder of a chap. There's a lot of them called McCartney in Belfast, and he was a bouncer, and a lot of these IRA men just beat him up one night and actually killed him, and their family have been fighting for justice for years. Now, the guy who was actually sort of done for that went up for bail yesterday. He got bail. But a chap who was fighting to have the Union flag, Union Jack flag, to be flown over, it's still a Northern Ireland, part of Great Britain, and I say majority of the people are sort of unionist, loyalist people. And they're being forced to stop flying this flag, or they'll be put in prison. A guy from I know called Willie Fraser. Now, this guy, four of his family were murdered by the IRA. He went up in front of the judge the other day, and the judge said to him he was being remanded in custody because they thought he was organising riots in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and he had a taser gun at home. Now, these other guys who are IRA terrorists, well known, are being sort of given bail, let out on the streets, and this poor man has trumped up Mickey Mouse charges of having a taser, and I just can't understand why he didn't have a legally held firearm anyway, because his father, and they burnt his house and his car a couple of weeks ago, and they actually tried to burn him and his family out of the house, and he was still sent to remand. It just shows you the crassness of the PSNI, MI5, and Sinn Féin IRA, who've got the security forces by the nose, and they're suppressing the people of the majority of Northern Ireland, let me say, by this sort of action of theirs. And they say loyalists can't sort of demonstrate and try and have their flag, which is the flag of their Northern Ireland, their country, put up on a building of Belfast, which is the capital city of Northern Ireland. So it just shows you that they're suppressing and arresting and coming down hard, threatening, telling stories to sort of blacken their names. Basically, it's intelligence sort of propaganda that we all know they do best, basically. But you say in Israel that the people of Northern Ireland are happy. They are not happy, because I listen to it every day, and they even suppress the news from Northern Ireland because they don't want the people in the mainland England knowing anything about it. But I've got lots of friends on Facebook, and they're telling me what's going on over there, and it's absolutely diabolical. I'm a Roman Catholic, but I feel sorry for the loyalist, unionist, Protestant community right now, because they are given the raw end of the stick right now, and they're being trampled upon by the people of their own politicians, the DUP, the UUP alliance, and they're not doing nothing for them. For example, Martin McGuinness and a few of his IRA Sinn Féin people went to go to court, right, and show that they were backing the guy who was brought up on a murder charge of this chap McCartney, and there was nobody for Willie Fraser, who is a part of FAIR, who's a sort of legitimate organisation. They've been trying to blacken that name of his as well, because he talks out so much about people who he knows and we all know are murderers, And they're arresting people on loyalists and unionists for Mickey Mouse charges, and they know that these IRA men, what they've done in the past, and they're just sort of letting them sort of walk free. And what way do you think that would sort of, how do you think an Israeli sort of community would think of that? It was similar organization like, Israelis, and they had Palestinians or something, or Hamas in their government, and Hamas were ruling the Israeli government, basically. Well, they wouldn't stand for it. Well, it's the same sort of scenario.
Why did you want to talk to Israel National Radio and our listeners? Why did you contact me and offer this